Well, hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Everyday EDC. Today I have a review for you, a review of the Tashi Barracha Barracuda Reate designed small Krypton. And I guess before we start, it's not a Reate design. It's a Tashi design, OEM by Reate. All right, so I'm going to show you the knife, go over some specs, give you my overall thoughts. Disclaimer on this one: I didn't get a chance to carry this one as much as I want. I was like back and forth, like on forever keeping this knife and not. And I carried it a couple days, and I was like, holy shit, this thing is awesome. And then like life kind of happened, right? And then trades and sales came up that this ended up making it to the chopping block just because, I don't know. And then holding it now, like prepping for the review, it feels like it shouldn't have. So, yeah, I don't know, right? It's a pretty damn sweet knife. So I'm gonna show you guys the knife. We'll show you guys some specs, and then I'll go over my overall thoughts. So this is 2 slabs of titanium with almost a seamless construction there. Really cool lanyard hole that comes through here and goes out there. That's nice. We have this pocket clip here that is recessed into the scale, and you can see that by the tiny little lines. Let's see if it'll focus. There's tiny little line that it like recesses by about 1/8 of an inch. Unfortunately, it's not focusing for us today. We have some relief cuts right here, which is really nice because it's most of the time they take this huge chunk out. But I'll show you guys with the action why that feels so good. It's like it doesn't miss a beat. It feels really, really nice. Really weird chamfering kind of going on, and this really weird contouring. It's kind of like a step contouring, right? It's like we go here, 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 here before it gets over to the top. And then this is kind of like a scallop more than a chamfer because it's almost this hollow grind cutout. Then we got some holes right here. This thing does come with Makudi inlays as well. This model itself is going for like $385, I believe, on Blade HQ, so it's not cheap, but it's Reate made, and it's really, really well constructed, and there's some unique things about this knife. We have the pivot cover right here that it's basically the pivot. It's a captive pivot, but you can't see it because of the plate that's over it. It's really, really cool. It makes this show side look oh so clean. We have this milled pocket clip that kind of goes with it, and then the one thing that's a little bit of a pain in the ass is you have this giant piece right here with so much grip. In your main pocket, I found it to be an issue. In your 5th pocket, which it's barely a 5th pocket knife, I found it to be just fine. Some more of those cutouts right there. I already showed about that side. I switched over to this side. Cutouts going on this way. Told you guys this was going to be a little bit rougher. All right, so we have T8, 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 basically T8 all around, so that's nice. Let's check out the flipping action. Oh, you can reverse flick it. Here. So you can access this tiny little fuller, but it takes like some training. It took me a while to get. Hey, do you guys notice one thing? Look at that flipper tab there. Check out this flipper tab. It's so cool looking, right? Where the hell did it go? Okay, so this is what makes this knife super unique. And I didn't even know this existed until I was playing with it. And I'll go into that as we talk about the knife. So the curvature of this right here feels really good in hand. This feels great. Unfortunately, I can feel this pocket clip. When you're bearing down, yeah, you definitely feel that pocket clip. Not too much of an issue because this isn't like a ridiculously hard use knife, probably despite having 160 thousandths on the blade stock. This does come with like a mirrored finish on the blade edge itself. This is a secondary knife that I won in a raffle, so I don't know if that's how it comes stock or if somebody did that before sending it off the raffle. Here's Tashi Barracha's. It's almost like a fingerprint because on some of his stuff he does like a fingerprint, like on the custom stuff, I think. And then on this one he kind of does this look right there. Right here, what is that? Oh, that's the Kickstop logo. Let's see if we can focus in on it. kickstop is the name of what this flipper tab does, which I will show you. CPM 154, and you don't even see Reate's name on there. Like, that's kind of cool. I'm sure it's somewhere, but like they're like, yo, you guys take all the credit. We're just making it. You guys designed it. Okay. Let's get you guys some specs. Easy there, Kaler. Wrestle me up some Barrachas. All right. So the overall weight, 3.75 ounces. And it feels like it. I mean, I wouldn't have guessed heavier because it's not a large knife, but it definitely feels dense is the right word. Like, this is one of those that just, it's small but feels dense. I kind of been calling that feeling almost like confidence inspiring. And this is confidence inspiring, but it's different than, say, well, shit, I don't have any of the examples, whatever. It's just different than a confidence inspiring feel. It does feel heavy because it's almost an integral with the way this titanium comes together. And there's no milling on the inside of that titanium. Overall length is coming in at about 7¼ inches. The overall blade length here looks to be about 3 inches with a 2 3/4 cutting edge. Yeah, that would be great. Thanks. Sorry, I don't know why I just kind of like droned off there. Brain shut off for a second. All right, so the blade stock thickness is coming in at 155 thousandths, relatively typical for Reate fashion. The behind the edge is about 20 thousandths. Not the most slicey. It's basically EDC perfect in my opinion. If you wanted slicing perfect, go down to 10 thousandths. But if you wanted EDC perfect, go up to 20. And no, that's not the only factor, but that's kind of what we all talk about. All right, so 1 inch, 138 thousandths, or basically 1 inch, 1/8, little more than an eighth of an inch. Okay, so this is coming in at about 1/2 inch thick, or 520 thousandths. That's relatively average. Your Rat Model 2, for example, is about 500 thousandths thick. All right, now let's talk about this. So I first got this, guys. I got this like 8 months ago in a raffle, and it sat on top of I have this box that I'll show you guys when I clean up one day. I'll show you guys kind of another tour of what I got, but I have this box that was a box for a rum. I don't remember the rum. It was like pie rum or something, but it came in this wooden box with like this porthole covered by this glass piece. So I took the box, and it's a really nice box. I took it and I converted it with shelves and everything so you can see like different knives. And what I might do actually is take the shelves out and put like, anyways, off topic. So I sat it on top of there, and it sat there for 5 freaking months. I did not pay any attention to this knife. I opened it up and I'm like, that's odd, and I put it back in and never looked at it again. Maybe it was waiting for the right time to hit my hand, because I took it out again and I'm like, all right, let's check this out. And I'm like, okay. So I was flipping it and I'm like, all right, this is cool, I guess. I don't see what's so special about this. And then I got the reverse flick, and I'm like, oh, that is so satisfying. Once you get that, that is wicked nice. Then I'm carrying it at work, and I used it for some light cutting, and I'm like, wow, the ergonomics of this feel really good. When you have it positioned, this pocket clip does, if you're bearing down, does feel rough. But if you're not bearing down, you don't feel it at all. It's kind of one of those, like, if you're just doing light duty cutting, you won't notice it at all. If you're doing heavy duty, you do notice it because you're gripping it a little bit tighter. And then I'm looking and I'm like, oh man, that lanyard hole, like, I really like the way they did that. That's cool. And so the more I looked at it, I'm like, ooh, CPM 154 instead of 20 CV, that's different, done by Reate. I like it. All right, let's go. Right? So like, I'm really liking this whole thing as I'm carrying it. And then I'm driving home and I'm doing my typical flip, and I do this. Let's see if I can duplicate it. And I go, stop. What the hell is that sound? Because anything loose drives me freaking nuts. If you hear anything that rattles in your knife, I'm such a stickler for it. I'm like, no, nope. If I can't fix it, you're being sold or boxed. Like, like it's one of those things. So then I started and I promise, guys, I had no idea about anything of this knife. So now I'm trying to figure out what the hell is that sound. And I'm watching, and if you watch it like this, Well, sometimes the flipper tab goes, sometimes it doesn't, right? So I'm looking and I'm like, that flipper tab seems to not be following the blade the whole time. What the hell? Wait a second. My knife's broke. Look at that. Right? So I did some more research, and what it basically is the knife acts as the over travel, not the over travel stop, but kind of like the lock bar stop pin, if you will. Because if you look, the way this works, sorry about the nails, the way this works is it goes up and it meets right here. And so when it's all the way down, this is the position it's in. But you could tell it's not touching or anything. And then as you flip it, it stops at that point and then catches. So now the flipper tab has disappeared and you have basically a stop pin right there. It's a really cool idea. Very innovative. It kind of reminds me of the Shark Lock in that, like, somebody's doing something different. It's nowhere near the Shark Lock similarities or anything. It's just the innovation of it. It's just super cool. It's cool that somebody decided to do that. I didn't even know my flipper tab hanging out was a problem until this came out, which isn't true because how many flipper deletes have we done, right? And then if you had the kick stop on there, you wouldn't need to do the flipper delete because it would be deleted by itself. So that's cool. So in thinking about this knife, I mean, what are my overall thoughts? $385 is a lot of money for CPM 154, but you're getting two massive hunks of titanium. You're getting two different designers that were a part of this. Kickstop is an actual design. I don't know who it's made by. I need to do more research on that, but it's an actual design. So not only did they have to get Tashi Barracha's or Barracha's design and pay him, now they have to pay Kickstop for the royalties for using their trademark design, or their patent or whatever. And then Reate OEM'd it. So I guess for the price, when you look at not just materials, guys, but when you look at designers involved, like, you understand why it costs more. And then you have this massive hunk of titanium that is so well done. Like, it's just, it feels really good, and all the lines are in the right spot. To be perfectly honest, if I was going to keep this, which you can't do it anyways, but because there's going to be a slot there for it, I would really like to see what this pocket clip feels like when it's not there. It does add quite a bit of a hot spot. And then just, baby, put on a lanyard. Oh, shit, did I just throw up a little bit? That was weird. Okay. Get it? So, yeah, all in all, $385. Is it worth it? I don't know that I can recommend this knife to everybody, but I can recommend this knife if this is the type of knife that you're looking at and you're like, that's interesting. I'm very interested. I like what the design looks like. I love the idea of the kickstop. I think that it's a great EDC. I mean, because it's kind of this Tonto-ish shape, right? But it's got the belly to it and everything. So it really is a great EDC knife. I have nothing bad to say about it. The price is the price. I mean, I have a hard time judging prices these days because I understand that behind the scenes in manufacturing, you have more and more and more that goes into knives. So like Civivi, for example, the reason they're able to produce this like cookie cutter, like $50 to $100 knives, right? What do they have? Stainless steel liners, G10, liner locks, D2. They're branching out a little bit, but those knives get more expensive, right? You pay for them. T8 hardware all around. So basically, they're kind of able to do this because they got all this shit that's all the same. All their liners or everything, like, they're able to take the same material and make the same product. That's why every knife of theirs feels the exact same, because I'd be willing to bet you they got a mile-long sheet of 100 thousandths thick, soft steel that they're using for frames, and then, you know what I mean, like for liners. So they just can buy all this shit in bulk. When you go and you do something specific and unique, manufacturing is gonna cost more. So I'm back to my rant. I just have trouble justifying being pissed at a price when I don't know the manufacturing behind it. Now, if you gave me two slabs of freaking titanium, smacked them together with some T8 screws, threw some bearings on there, and gave me S35 or M390. Looking at you, Medford. Yeah, what? No. I know people love the Slim Midi. I thought the Slim Midi was fantastic. Not for $600 fucking dollars. That's crazy. So, anyways, my rant is done. Sorry about that. But yeah, so there's things that make the price for me. It's not just the materials. That's all I got for you guys today. Sorry about the rant. My name is Tyler. This is Everyday EDC. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great freaking rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. This is my Patreon. This is my Instagram, everydayedc_77. I'm going to do a special shout out to all the Patreons: John K, Sammy, Eggs and Ham, Jason M, Dogtooth, Kaiba, Mickey, Wolf, and Captain Steve. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great freaking day.